You want to win as a man in 2023. There are 5 steps you must take. There are 5 identities that you must make a part of your lifestyle. If you don't have these in your life, you will be living a life of average. You won't have the health, wealth, and relationships you want. But on the flip side, when you implement these tools that I'm about to share with you in just a minute, you're going to be able to make more money, take back more time, have more freedom, have a weaponized body, a bulletproof mind, and have amazing relationships with your partner, potentially your children, with the world, because you, my friend, will be a leader. You will be a man who has it all, a man who is happy, fulfilled, and full of power. Sound too good to be true? Strap in, listen to these 5 identities, take a bunch of notes, and understand it is your time to make 2023 your best year ever. Welcome to 2023. So, in this podcast, we are discussing the 5 steps you must take to win as a man in 2023. And what does that mean, win? Well, build the most amount of wealth and financial freedom, have amazing relationships full of intimacy and connection, have fun and enjoy life, be healthy physically and mentally, ultimately just have power and purpose as a modern day man, which for so many men in this day and age is lacking. As men, we are lacking that. We are, angry, stressed, triggered, overweight, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're one of the guys listening to this who just wants to become better. Please listen to this entire podcast. Take a shitload of notes because it will change your life if you can simply implement one of these steps or one of these identities. Put all 5 together and you will be an unstoppable force. You will be deadly and dangerous as a man in 2023. Before we jump into it, Sam, biggest lesson from 2022. I know I put you on the spot here. Biggest lesson from 2022 for the men listening to this.
Biggest lesson for me is that clarity is king. Simple as that. That shaped so much of my 2022. I had it written on my bathroom mirror for months and months. I'd read it out every day. Clarity is king. Clarity is king. How can I create more clarity? Which created certainty, which has helped set me up with greater vision for 2023.
Yeah. If you want to win as a man in 2023, you must have clarity. Clarity is certainty. So clarity is, how do I get what I want? How do I overcome the challenges? Who do I need to be? How do I need to show up? What actions do I need to take? Who do I need to remove from my life? And it's not just in one area. It's clarity in your health, clarity in your wealth, clarity in your relationships. And most men go through life with no clarity. They have no idea what they want or why they want it, which means there's no certainty. So of course we don't take the right actions or make the right moves. You got to figure out, where are you now? Where do you want to go? What's holding you back? And what are you going to do about it? 4 questions that will change your life forever. That is clarity in a nutshell. So amazing. My biggest lesson in 2022, my biggest lesson in 2022 was that I am limitless. And when I say I am limitless, you listening to this right now are limitless. Anything you want in your life is right in front of you. You want to make an extra $1 million? You can do it. You want to have the best relationship out of anyone you know? You can do it. You want to get ripped and shredded? You can do it. You are only limited by your beliefs. Your goals, your dreams and hopes and desires are simply limited by what you believe to be true. And if you believe you're going to achieve it and you take the right action steps every single day to get there, you will become unstoppable, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about in today's podcast. So we have 5 different identities or steps. They're not really steps, they're more identities. You got to step into that identity that we're going to be talking about on this podcast. And I believe the last one is probably the most important. So make sure you stick around at the end till the end to hear what that is. And the first difference that we've got to contrast here between the identities is a liar versus a leader. A liar versus a leader. Most men fucking lie about where they are in their relationship, in their business, in their health. They're just comfortable and complacent being in that place because they are ignorant to the fact of what's really going on. So what does it mean to be a liar as a modern day man, Sam?
A liar as a man is to bury our head in the sand and say everything's okay, everything's fine, because it's easier in the short term to say that. In the long term, it's more destructive. But it's so easy to just bury our head. No, the wife's happy. We're all good financially. We're fine. I'm content. I'm happy. I'm okay with working 80 hours a week. And things are generally okay and we are doing okay until we're not.
Mm.
But so many men even push past the I'm not okay to I've got to be okay. And
Yeah.
we become liars. We lie to ourselves, we lie to those around us, and
Mm.
internally we start to break down.
Yeah.
See it
Yeah.
happen all the time.
Yeah. Most men are fucking liars. They will lie to themselves about how they look. They're 20 kilos overweight. They're okay with that. They'll lie to themselves about the shitty food they eat. They'll
Mm.
lie to themselves about the fact that their relationship has a disconnection. They'll be happy in their business making 100 grand profit a year, and they'll lie to themselves about the fact they want to make a million. It's not intentional. It's not your fault. But as men, we've been told that it's okay to be average. It's okay to be normal. It's not okay. That is a liar's way of living. Real men are leaders. Real men, they face the shit that isn't working head on. They face the brutal facts of reality, which is really fucking hard to do. But the only way you can have what you want in your life as a man is to face what's not working. Stop lying to yourself. Like, if you're not happy, you're not happy. If you're listening to this and you work too much, you're overweight, you're unhappy, you're depressed, you're stressed, you're anxious, you can fix that like this. But the first step is getting to the truth about those things and going, you know what? I'm not going to live here anymore. I am living here right now. It's not okay. I'm fucking getting out of this. And if you can do that, that's the first step to changing anything. Because as a liar, we lie about how bad things are. So many men only change when the wife leaves, or they have a heart attack or a mental breakdown. At that point, it's too late. For some men, it is too late. They die, right? So we have this identity or step of a liar. We lie, we lie, we lie, which means we get to step into the identity of a leader. Now, a leader, think about the word. A leader is someone people follow.
Mm.
If you want to be a successful man, you got to learn how to be a leader. You got to learn how to lead the people around you, your wife, your kids, your employees, your staff, your team. But you can't lead everyone around you until you learn how to lead yourself. And you can't effectively lead yourself if you're lying to yourself about the problems in your life. If you're unhappy, overweight, unhealthy, work too much, don't have any time, constantly busy, and you ignore those things and bury your head in the sand, you can lead people, but you know, and they know, they feel it, that you're not truly congruent with being the man. True leaders, they live and breathe what they teach, they live and breathe what they preach, and that's really fucking hard to do. But you got to get to the truth about what's not working and do the hard shit to be the man that you need to be. That's what leaders do. What does a leader mean to you, Sam? Like, how would you frame liar versus leader? What is a leader compared to the liar?
A leader paves the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see as a leader. It's my job to go first, to pave the way for those that are following. Now, I'm going to be more successful as a leader. I'm going to have more people following me if I'm leading authentically and I'm paving the way authentically, not like, yep, we're fine, we're good, and we're really not. But being authentic, being true, being genuine, which starts with my own self-investment. It
Yep.
starts with working on my own stuff. And if I'm not going to do that and bury my head in the sand,
Mm-hmm.
people might follow me for a short time, but eventually
Mm-hmm.
when the cracks start to show and things start to fall apart, that's when people stop following. Because
Yeah.
families, partners, employees, they want to know that they're following a leader that they can trust, that they can depend on, and who
Mm-hmm.
is paving the way with authenticity. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be challenges and problems along the way, but it's
Mm-hmm.
about being authentically present in the midst of those challenges and leading the
Yep.
way and leading people through them, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to, no, we're good, we're fine.
Yep. Yep.
That's what I'd say.
And it's hard, isn't it? Like, being a leader is fucking hard. If you think about a captain of a ship, he takes the full responsibility of that ship. If
Mm,
that ship goes down, as the leader, he goes down with the ship. And as a family man, as a leader, you are the glue that holds the family together. Your wife is extremely important. She's also a different kind of glue. But as a leader, you take a lot of that shit. You go to war each and every day to provide and make money. And as a leader, you almost embrace the things that are hard. Like, you don't want to get up and work out. You don't want to meditate in the middle of the day. You don't want to do all these things that take up your time because you're busy, but you do them anyway. You step into that because as a leader, you do the hard shit.
mm,
Like, think about it. Andrew Tate was recently arrested. The reason Andrew Tate was arrested was apparently for human trafficking and rape. This is Sam, if you don't know, a multi-millionaire, hundreds of millions of dollars. And the guy has radical ideas. But the true message behind Andrew Tate is to lead yourself as a man. And the establishment doesn't like that. They'd rather have liars, men who lie to themselves about how fat they are, how unhappy they are, how they watch porn all day, how they don't actually interact with people. As a leader, which is what Andrew Tate teaches, you step up for yourself, you take action, you take personal responsibility, and the establishment hates that. As men, they don't want us to lead. They want us to be weak, and they want us to be down so that they can, rule us like they did during the COVID times. True leaders, Andrew Tate was one of them, or still is. True leaders say, fuck that, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to step up and lead. I'm going to do what needs to be done. And that's why he was canceled, and that's why we need more men like that. Like, we need leaders in this world. So the first question to ask yourself is, my friend, if you're listening to this, and if there is any area of your life that's not working, first of all, there is no judgment from us. We've been there. But you got to ask yourself a simple question. Are you being honest with yourself about the brutal facts of reality? Like, in your business, in your health, in your relationships, are things like 100? Are things 10 out of 10? If they aren't, are you okay with that? And if the answer is yes, all power to you. If you want to be average, fucking go for it, man. But if the answer is no, it's time to be a leader and take action on the shit that isn't working by getting to the truth, which leads us to the second identity that we get to step into as a man to make 2023 your best year ever. And that is the identity of an excuse maker versus an action taker. An excuse maker versus an action taker. So let's say you get to the truth. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to be a leader this year. I'm going to crush it in business, career, health, wealth. I'm going to be the man. And then you create a plan. You're like, you know what? I'm going to take action. I'm going to take action. I'm going to do the right shit. I'm going to move forward on my goals. As a leader, I have a plan. I'm going to get up every single day. I set my resolution. I'm going to go to the gym. And then what happens when the sun rises? There's rain coming and it's cold outside and it starts raining and you're like, oh, fuck, it's really comfortable in this bed. Maybe I'll go after work. I don't want to get wet. Or later in the day, you're busy at work. You're like, fuck, it's been a busy day. I'm tired. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. Maybe I'll just have a beer tonight. I wasn't going to drink for the first 3 months of the year, but I'm tired. And we start to stack these excuses. I'm tired. I'm too busy. We work with the guy at the moment. I'm working 18-hour days. How am I going to do this program? I don't have enough time. Brother, those are excuses. You choose how you control your time. And what's crazy about life is there are so many excuses for why you can't win. As a man in 2023, you can find 57 excuses in 12 seconds on why you can't win. I'm busy. I don't have enough time. I've got to look after the kids. I don't feel like it. It's raining outside. If you are an excuse maker as a man in 2023 and beyond, you will fucking lose. I'm not saying it can't be hard. It's hard being a man. It's hard getting out of bed when it's cold. It's hard going to the gym. It's hard making money. It's hard growing a business. And you can find millions of excuses for why you can't do it. But powerful men, they take action regardless. No matter how they feel, no matter how cold it is, no matter the thoughts going on, they get up and they do the fucking work. They become an action taker. And that is an identity that you've got to step into if you want to win. I don't feel like getting out of bed at 4:45. I do it anyway because it's attached to my goals. How many excuses are there? Millions. But when you take action, you kill excuses. When you take action, you kill excuses. So what are the excuses you're telling yourself today for why you can't win? Sam, how does this show up with the guys we work with? How did this show up for you? I used to do this. I'm too tired. I'm hungover. I used to drink a lot. I'm too hungover. Fucking bullshit. What are the excuses?
I actually saw this play out in my own life as New Year's ticked over. New Year's Eve on Saturday, I spent most of the day reflecting on 2022, casting vision for 2023. And I'm like, so that when midnight strikes, I'm just stepping over the line and I'm ready to go. And I reset some standards. And then my alarm went off on New Year's Day. And I was like, oh, it's New Year's Day. And the excuses started to set in. And it was like in my mind, I started to see this scenario playing out. Today's New Year's Day. Tomorrow's a public holiday. Wednesday's going to be colder than it is today. You know, the weekend's going to be really hot. And all of these excuses. And then I just I snapped my fingers and I said to myself, get up. And I got up and I took action. And I'm so glad that I did, because I didn't want to start the year off by being an excuse maker. And, you know, we work with highly successful men. We work with very, I don't like the word, but busy men who are working 18-hour days, who have 3, 4, 5 kids, who, you know, are overweight, who are struggling with, you know, certain areas in their life. And there is every reason under the sun for them to not take action.
Yeah.
But it's weighing up the cost because, as we've said before, we either have reasons or we have results.
Yes.
We've all got justifiable reasons to not take action.
Yeah.
But is that really enough to stop us? Do we really want to live that ordinary, average, okay life?
Yeah.
Because if we do, like, let the excuses come. But if we want more than that, we get to
Yeah.
take action.
For sure. And the way you do that is by attaching it to pain, like you mentioned, like getting to the truth about it. Hey, Legend, if you're getting value from this podcast, then you're going to love our Empowered Man 7-Day Challenge. Inside, we've taken some of the best content our clients invest thousands of dollars for to change their lives, and we've given it to you in the course of 7 days. This challenge is worth over $3,000, and you can get it for $37, 97% off. Inside, we'll teach you how to fix your marriage and relationships and reconnect with your partner, your kids, your wife. We will teach you how to take back your time, how to take back your power, get into powerful routines, and how to take control of your life, take control of your mind, take control of your business, take control of your health, take control of your wealth. Sounds too good to be true, but there's a complete money back guarantee. So if you're enjoying this podcast, go to elitebusinessman.com/challenge. That's elitebusinessman.com/challenge. It's going to be in the call notes as well, and you'll be able to register for this challenge that will completely change your life. If you're too busy and you don't have enough time because you're a business owner or crushing it in your career, but you don't work out, you don't make time for your relationship, you don't look after your physical and mental health, then sure, you might be busy and making money, but at some point, those excuses of being busy, which are valid reasons, you're allowed to believe them. But those excuses and those reasons will cause you to spend way much more time, so much more time fixing the shit that was broken. Heart attack, divorce, mental breakdown, issues with your health, cancer. Like, these are realities. Now, could those not happen? Sure. But are you willing to take that risk? What's really cool is there are men who are excuse makers who have this excuse, I'm too busy, don't have time. But there are also action takers who are busy, but they're also productive. And they crush it in business. They make money. They have a great relationship. They look healthy. They've weaponized their body. There are people out there doing it. They're just taking more action than you are. So if you're one of those guys that's busy and doesn't have enough time, I used to be that guy, but the only way to fix it is to stop being an excuse maker and start being an action taker. In 2023, write a list right now. What are the excuses you've had in the past? And what are the excuses you have right now for why you can't have what you want? On New Year's Eve, we went to a mate's place. We met some new friends and we drank 2.5 bottles of whiskey between 4 of us. I haven't drunk in 6 months. I was very hungover at 4:45 on New Year's Day. But my alarm went off and I got the fuck up out of bed. I went for a walk, had a bit of a chunder, came back, did my journaling, did some breath work. Then I went back to bed. But I did my routines because that's the action I chose to take. And when you do that, you build this confidence and self-belief within yourself. But every single time you say you're going to do something and an excuse or a reason gets in the way, you lose self-confidence and you lie to yourself. You're not a leader, you're a liar.
Yeah.
So you got to make a commitment. You got to take action. What are the excuses in your life? And what are you committed to taking action on? And every time you follow through, you build that muscle of commitment, you build that muscle of action. It's like going to the gym, right? Now, this leads us to our third set of identities that we get to step into. As a man, are you weak or are you weaponized? As a man, are you weak or are you weaponized? The average weight loss in our Empowered Man coaching program, it's an 8-week intensive coaching program, is 15 to 20 kilos. In pounds, that's about 35 to 44 pounds in 8 weeks. And the men keep it off. Now, our program is not a fitness program. Our program helps business owners and career-driven men find work-life balance, fix their marriage, reconnect with their children, and basically be successful in every area of their life. But an area of your life is your health, right? It's very difficult to be a leader and not a liar. It's very difficult to take action and not make excuses if your physiology is fucked.
Yeah.
Your body is your vehicle of life. If you want to be successful as a man, you can make money, you can work hard, but what's going to be more important for your success is the way you treat your body. Your body is your vehicle of life. If you want to go from where you are to where you want to go, make millions of dollars, be successful, have the toys, the house, the car, the only way to get there is your body. Your hands are moved by your body. Your feet are moved by your body. Your mouth is your body. The way you treat your body is so important. And if your body is fat, tired, lazy, burnt out, which you're allowed to feel, most men feel that way, unfortunately, then you're not weaponized. You are weak. If the zombies come or the armies come and you got to run and protect your family, you are weak. I don't say that with any disrespect. It is simply a fact. When you are unhealthy as a man, it has a severe impact on your business and your relationships. And ask any man who is dying, your health is your wealth. Why do so many men, successful men, struggle with weakness in their physical body and also in their mental health? Why is that?
One of the
Because you used to be this guy, right? Like you were, how overweight were you, Sam?
40 kilos heavier than what I am now. 40 kilos overweight.
88 pounds, if you're listening in the States. 88 fucking pounds heavier than he is now.
Yeah.
Why?
I hear this story so often with a lot of the clients that we work with, and that is, back when I started the business, or but just before I got married, or whatever.
Right, kids.
I had abs. I had the body. I had this, and it's what I put it down to. And this might be a harsh call, but we get so comfortable that we stop working on ourselves because we've secured the business, we've secured the girl, we've got that dream life, and now we let ourselves go. We put ourselves last, and we do things like not exercise, because not exercising is doing something. It's not exercising. We eat to cope. We eat to get through. There was a guy at our retreat, Tommy Bellman. He said this about caffeinating ourselves.
Caffeaholic.
Yeah. And we do. We artificially manufacture energy. We take all sorts of supplements. I know people that take pre-workout just to get started in the morning, not to go and work out, but just to get functioning in the morning. And we live this sort of artificial life that is just about scraping through to the next thing.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't grow up having the body and then let myself go. I grew up as the fat kid. And I had every excuse under the sun as to why I stayed that way. Oh, my extended family is overweight, and, I'm Italian and we eat, and that's just what we do.
Excuse maker.
100%.
Yeah. Liar and excuse maker. Not intentional, but not a leader, not an action taker.
Exactly right. And I was weak. And when I realized that I was weak, there was no drive there for me to change that. It just allowed me to create more and more excuses to stay that way. To become more overweight, to become more down on myself, to become more victimized. It was very unhelpful. When I flipped the coin, took action, lost the weight, I have those moments. I'm tired. Like right now, I'm quite tired, but I'm still taking action. I can't wait till tonight when I get to the gym, when I get to work out and move energy around. Yeah. Because I've shifted the way that I live my life now.
Exactly. Because you're weaponizing your body, because you realize that to make more money, to be more successful, to have a great relationship, to be a great father, you got to be weaponized. You cannot be slow, lethargic, lazy. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but this is the crazy thing. I mean, I've got a 17-month-old daughter. One of the craziest things about being a father for me, having a father who used to drink and was overweight, is now that I have a 17-month-old, seeing the amount of men who are overweight, unhealthy, lazy, depressed, and anxious. Now, I don't judge them. I understand why they're there. They don't have the tools. They've got excuses. They don't have they're busy. They're tired. I get it. But it just fascinates me because I see this girl that I'm raising, and all I'm thinking about is how can I be the best man for her, because I didn't have that. It's not my father's fault, but I didn't have that. And it fascinates me how many men are just weak blobs, and they set such a shitty example for their children. And this is why the problem perpetuates. They don't teach them about health, about exercise, about mindset, because they don't know. It's not their fault. Yeah. As a father, it is your responsibility to lead. That doesn't mean just teaching them great shit. It means teaching them how to have a strong, weaponized body and mind. If you're not doing that as a father, look in the mirror today and say, what the fuck am I doing? And step the fuck up. I say that from a place of love. Your kids deserve the best version of you. They don't deserve more money. That's not going to make them happy. They deserve a healthy dad who doesn't die at 50 from a heart attack. And this is the crazy thing as well. Like weak men can be successful and make money. Weak men can grow a business to 10 million a year and have a team. But if their body is fat and low on energy, that is going to have a direct impact on their mental health. You're going to be more stressed and more triggered if you're overweight. You're going to find it harder to get through a day without caffeine or stimulants or even drugs. Like your body and your physiology has a direct impact on your psychology. So,
Mm.
how you lead a team, how you show up for your children, how you show up for your partner, it's all to do with, are you weaponized or not? Think about a weapon. A weapon fires, but if you hold a gun in your hand, that gun is only as powerful as the person holding it. That gun could never kill, but it has the potential to. And if you aim it at the right thing, you might hit the target. And this is the power of weaponizing your body. You know when to shoot that gun and you know when to not. And that's when you can put that into your relationships and your business. So your weaponized versus weak isn't just about how you look. I don't care if you're overweight.
Mm.
If you're overweight and healthy and happy, fuck yeah. But does that exist? Do you know what I mean? It really doesn't. And it goes the other way. We have men who don't eat. They just take cocaine and drink all day. And they're very fit. But it's not just about how you look. It's about how you feel physically.
Mm.
We'll end on this one as well. I had severe anxiety and depression as a teenager going into manhood up until I was 25. And do you know what helped me more than any pill or psychologist? Getting up, getting into a good routine, and taking action on building my body.
Yeah.
Going to the gym every single day, going for runs, getting a sweat on, fighting the demons within me. When I was so in the zone of running and I'm like, I'm going to pass out, I didn't have time to think about depression or anxiety. I
Mm.
was clearing the energy within me. I was moving it around. And so many men are misdiagnosed with anxiety and depression. They're told by walking into a doctor's office, here's a label, here's a box I'm going to put you in. But no doctor asks them, are you working out? Are you meditating? Are you eating well? How's your gut health? How's your sleep? How's your hydration? When you weaponize your body, you will feel so much better. You can still have bad days and be anxious. But for so many men, that is the cure for anxiety and depression, is just weaponize the body and you'll bulletproof the mind.
Yeah.
The body is the weapon, the mind is the shield. And together, when you can put that combo together, you become unstoppable as a man. So you got to weaponize yourself. If
Mm.
you're listening to this right now, ask yourself, as a man, do I feel like a weapon? Do I feel strong? Do I feel bulletproof? If the answer is no, don't take this to heart. I say it from love, then you are weak. You can be strong and weak at the same time, but you are weak. And it's time to strengthen those areas. Find a coach, find a trainer, go for a walk every day. Stop eating shit. It's not difficult, but it requires a commitment, which is action taker, and it requires leadership. Fourth identity we get to step into. These are getting spicy. We have the two options here of identity: victim versus victor. Victim versus victor. Victim versus victor. A victor is radical responsibility. A victim plays the blame game.
Mm.
So many men play the blame game and blame the world for their lack of results. It's the government's fault. Lockdowns, COVID, my wife, my business. I don't have time. It's my kids. My business is taking. We are full of excuses and we blame, blame, blame. Now, is the world blameless? Of course not. Our wife has a role to play in our relationship if we're arguing. Our children might be little shits. The business might be stressful and take up a lot of our time. But as soon as you start blaming things external to you for your lack of results, you lose your power. Because you can't control anything or anyone outside of you. You can't control the government or your wife. God knows I've tried. As soon as you go into that victim mentality, the complainer, the one who blames, you lose your power. The only way to get out of this is to take radical responsibility. It's not your fault. A lot of people say everything's your fault. It's not your fault. It's your responsibility as a man to own the shit that isn't working and to focus on what you can control. And when you do that, you will fucking win. Oh shit, problem. What am I going to do about it? How can I take responsibility and fix this? Instead of, oh shit, problem, fuck you, it's your fault.
Mm.
So many men do that. And this victim mentality is destroying men all over the world. It's fascinating. Why are so many men victims? Why?
I think a lot of it has to do with, we're conditioned to live as victims. And I mean, depending on our upbringing and our model of the world and stuff like that, it's not a common thing that we're brought up to, how can you take ownership in a situation? How can you take responsibility? It wasn't the way that I was brought up.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've started to say to people who talk to me and say, this happened, they did this, they did that, and I've just got no power in the situation, no authority. And I was, I'll say to them, that's a really exhausting way to live. What's
Mm.
your 1%? Like if you could take 1% of responsibility in the situation, not a whole lot, just 1%, what would that be? And if you've got 1% of responsibility that you can take, you've got buy-in, which means you've got power to change things. The
Yep.
1% is the radical responsibility. Because if you've
Yep.
got no part to play in it at all, then you've got no power to change things and make it better for yourself.
Yeah.
What an exhausting
Yeah.
way to live.
It's exhausting. And you see it in the people we care about. I've got family members who are just victim, victim, victim. It's like, fuck, man, you're overweight because you don't look after yourself. It's not anyone else's fault. You're busy because you haven't managed your time well in your business. And
Mm.
a lot of this podcast is like, it sounds aggressive, doesn't it? It's like, get your shit together. I'm not saying that. All of this is challenging, which is going to lead to our final point. Like, none of this is easy, but a life worth living, I don't know the exact quote, but a life worth living is hard. Like if you want to be on that yacht, or you want to have that nice watch, or you want to have the freedom to go for a month on holiday with your family and not worry about money, like, which is freedom, you're going to have to work hard. And these things aren't easy. The
Mm.
problem is, as a victim, you don't have any power. And the best way to grow financially, grow a business, grow a relationship, grow a family, grow a set of abs, is to jump in and take responsibility for those areas.
Mm.
Like, what would your life look like if you just took responsibility for everything? If you want to have the best life you've ever had, what would it look like for you to say, you know what? I'm responsible for the way I look. I'm responsible for the thoughts in my head, for the feelings in my body. I'm responsible for the amount of money in my bank account. I'm responsible for the quality of my relationships.
Mm.
I can't blame my wife for the arguments. She has a role to play, but I'm responsible for my reactions. My children are being little shits, but I'm responsible for how I discipline them. I'm responsible for the things in my life. I'm taking radical responsibility. I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm allowed to get triggered. I'm allowed to have negative thoughts. I'm allowed to have bad days. But in those moments, how can I take responsibility for this? How can I take back my power? How can I be the man who does something about it?
Yeah.
Because when you act like a victim, you don't look for solutions. You look for people to tell about your problems. When you take radical responsibility, you become solution oriented.
Mm.
Problem, solution. Victim sees a problem and goes, problem, 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 focuses a microscope on that thing. Someone who takes responsibility, especially men, they go, okay, cool, problem. How can I take ownership for this? What am I going to do about it?
Mm.
They're so busy fixing problems, they don't have time to focus on the problem. And honestly, when you can live this way, it is fucking liberating. Life becomes so fun despite how challenging it is. The pain is so, so interesting.
Mm.
Which leads us to our fifth and final point. Before we move on to that, are you being a victim? Where in your life in 2022 and beyond have you or can you blame others in your relationship with your wife or kids, in your business or career? We hear this a lot with business owners. My employees did this, my employees did that. I can't find good staff. How can you take responsibility for that? How can you take ownership for that? I've
Mm.
done it with you and my team. Like, we got a meeting today. There's things that I want to improve. I'm like, cool, how can I take ownership of this thing and support my team? It makes life so much easier. Which leads us to our fifth and final step or identity that we get to step into to win as a man in 2023. And that is comfort versus conviction. What is comfort, Sam? Sort of warm blanket at the end of the day. What is comfort?
It's like
Why is this so
sitting
important?
in a cloud where you don't have to lift a finger and you don't have to change anything and everything's served to you on a silver platter and we don't have to work hard and it's just all comfortable and it's not too confronting.
Mm,
It's just cozy.
mm. Or you do have to work hard, but you come home and it's comfortable to just grab that beer.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
comfortable to stay in bed. You're still working hard, but you're sleeping. You hit that snooze button. It's avoiding pain.
Mm.
One of the craziest things about us as human beings is we are almost trained to avoid pain. It comes from our genes, for our biology. Since we were cavemen, like, we would run away from pain. It was a defense mechanism. The problem is it's made us lazy, fat, and unhappy, and divorced, and separated. Right? If you are avoiding pain as a man, then you're going to have a life that is not very fun or exciting, a life full of pain, problems. It's funny, we will avoid the pain, but we'll cause way more pain by avoiding it. It's so easy to stay comfortable. So I'll just stay in bed a little bit longer. I'll have that drink or I'll have that extra piece of food. Like, we chase the comfort because we don't want the pain. And it's so ironic because when you break this down logically, you understand it. It makes no fucking sense from a logical standpoint. The more you delay pain, the pain of having that conversation with your partner about things you need to fix in the marriage. It's comfortable to say nothing. But when you delay that pain, it gets bigger, it gets worse. It's like a snowball. And then there's the divorce that happens. You see your gut getting bigger. You feel tired when you walk upstairs. And then you have a heart attack. We delay the now pain, and that later pain is so fucking great that it can destroy us. Now, is there a possibility nothing happens? Of course there is. There's exceptions to the rule. Smokers smoke for 70 years and don't die, but most get cancer. If you are living in comfort as a man, you have got to build radical conviction that that is not okay. You must have conviction, a deeply rooted belief that your mission as a man is to become the best man you can be. And that means a life where you consciously chase discomfort. You eat glass intentionally, you embrace the fucking suck. If you do that, you will win. Conviction is the name of the game. Like, listen to how I'm speaking. I believe this shit. This is why our companies will do millions of dollars this year. This is why when I'm 35, I might not have to work ever again if I don't want to. This is why I can hang out with my friends and family. It's because of this conviction. And most men have no idea what the fucking word means. How does a man build conviction? As a matter of fact, what does conviction mean? The dictionary definition. A conviction is a strong belief or opinion. It is our firm conviction that a step forward has been taken. Synonyms: belief, view, opinion, principle. And then the other ones, if someone's been convicted of a crime. So why do so many men struggle with conviction, Sam? Because it's a huge one for men. They know they need to change. They know they need to take action. They know they need to, take radical responsibility and have certainty and clarity as a leader, but they don't do it. Why? Where's the conviction?
Conviction requires intentionality, it requires cost, it requires sacrifice in order to step up and live a life that's beyond comfort. Like this conviction, like for me, it's like I've cast this solid vision for the year, but I've also looked at what that's going to require of me. And like stepping into that conviction is like that's this is who I'm going to become this year. This is what I'm going to commit to. This is what I'm going to do. That's hard. That's hard to get up and do that each day. I mean, staying in comfort is, in the long run, harder, I would argue. But conviction is like, I'm going to push past the excuses. I'm going to push past lying to myself. I'm going to push past being weak. I'm going to push past the blame game. And I'm going to allow this belief within myself to come out, and I'm going to take action, and I'm going to create the life that I want.
Yes. Yep. Which requires a conscious decision.
Yes.
Because it's unconscious, this avoidance of discomfort. Like it's in our genes to avoid pain. It's how we stayed alive for so long. So you've almost got to fight your biology. There is a weights rack. So I do CrossFit in the mornings. And one of the best ways that you can become a powerful man is to run away from comfort and to chase discomfort. So I go to this CrossFit class, and at the top, there is a barbell. There's a barbell below it. There's a barbell below it. 45 pounds, 20 kilos. If you lift 20 kilos, 45 pounds from above your head downwards, it's very heavy. But if you lift it from like your balls section, you lift it up from where your balls are, it's not that heavy. It's a completely different weight, even though it's the same weight. And I will consciously choose to grab the one above my head and pull it down. And sometimes it feels really heavy, especially at the end of the class where I have to put it back. But that simple act of chasing discomfort and having the conviction and the belief that when I chase discomfort, because comfort is my enemy, as a man, this is going to help me grow. And it's going to help my business grow. It's going to help me go work out. It's going to help me have difficult conversations with my wife. It's going to support me because that act of taking action and chasing away the comfort, going to discomfort, is going to prepare me to be strong for the war that I fight as a man. And this happened over years. It didn't happen overnight. But if you can do this, chase discomfort every single day, you will win. But for you to do that consciously, you're going to have to build the conviction that that's the only way you can live as a man. You've got to believe that. You've got to believe that, like, embracing the suck in your business, doing the hard shit, having the difficult conversations, sharing your emotions, all the things that you don't want to do, you do them anyway. And you do them despite how you feel. Whether you feel like it or not, you've got to take action as a man. When you feel tired, when you feel stressed, when you feel angry, when you feel like not doing it, those are the moments where you must. You must. It's the moments where you've got to do something to further the business or the relationship or your health, where you don't want to do it, that you push through anyway, because the conviction is, I must, I must, I must. And if you believe that, if you make it a must, you will win. But the men who struggle are the men who sit in that place of comfort, because they don't even know that they can believe something different. They believe comfort is safe, it's healthy. No, it's not. Powerful men, they're constantly in this war, and they choose to fight that war. It's not intentional. It is intentional, sorry. It's not unintentional, it's intentional, right? It's a huge amount of conviction. Anything you want to add on this point before we finish it up?
No, I don't think so. You hit the nail on the head. It's great.
Awesome. I'm a fucking hammer, brother. This is the year. The amount of energy that I have within me is insane. And the reason that that's there, guys, that you're listening, like this last year, 2022, was the first year of my life that I was truly happy the majority of the year. Every other year, I'd convinced myself that I needed a crisis to take action. I'd wait till my bank balance got low enough to take action. I'd wait till I had enough arguments in my relationship to fix it. I'd wait until I was too tired and depressed to go to the gym. Like, I'd always taken a little bit of action, but it was these waves, And 2022 for me was the year of the biggest business year of my life. We'll probably triple this year. Best relationship, best health, best everything. And a big part of that was these identities we talked about. It was having a plan. We coach men. Like, I have coaches. I spent $107,000 last year on coaching mentors and courses. And most men don't do this stuff. So the question you get to ask yourself today, or the questions, and please do this, like, get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. Please don't just listen. Okay. And on one side, put liar versus leader, and write down all the areas in your life where you are lying and where you are leading. And you want to take those lies into leadership. Leadership means getting to the truth, just being honest about what's not working. That's the first step. Step 2, are you an excuse maker or are you an action taker? Where are all the areas in your life that you're making excuses? And what can you take action on to step into that identity, to step into that version of yourself? The third one, are you weak or are you weaponized? Where in your body and mind, the way you think, the way you feel, anxiety, depression, stress, the way you look, your weight, your energy, your libido, your sex drive, where in your life do you feel weak as a man? Do you have joint pain? Do you struggle to get up the flight of stairs, to keep up with the kids? Where are you weak? And what would it look like if you were weaponized? Bulletproof mind, weaponized body. And where in your life are you being a victim? Where are you blaming others? And what can you take responsibility for? And then finally, where in your life are you sitting in comfort because you feel like it's safe? What's the worst case scenario if you keep doing this? Is it divorce? Is it heart attack? Is it breakdown? And I don't say this to scare you. I say it because it happens. And what would it look like if you believe today, you made a fucking decision today, full conviction that I must chase discomfort. I must, but I also get to be the man who does the hard shit. And I don't want to live in comfort anymore. I'm going to lift that bar up from the top. I'm going to walk that extra mile. I'm going to take that extra step. If you can do that, you win. Because honestly, this could be your best year ever, but the choice is yours. And it's about these steps you take and these identities you embody. And if you do that as a man, you'll fucking win. If you want support with that, down below, there'll be a link to our challenge, as well as a link to book a call with us directly and apply for one of our programs. You can do this on your own, but it's very challenging. It's a lot easier with some support. Is there anything you want to add before we jump off, Sam?
In 2023, we get to build a life that isn't about looking perfect and looking great, but we get to build a life that is built upon conviction, that is about taking responsibility, taking action, living weaponized, paving the way as a leader. Not a life that looks perfect, but a life that is good. And as a result of that, it looks even better because it becomes not about what it looks like, but what it's made up of, the substance. And that's what we get to
Yeah.
create this year.
Awesome. Fuck what it looks like. Fuck Instagram, social media.
Yeah.
How do you feel? And this is the first step. Lie or a leader. We can lie about how it looks like, but how does it feel? Was 2022 your best year ever? If the answer is no, it's like, cool, what am I going to do about it? It's not your fault. You're allowed to fuck it up. I had 30 years of fucking it up. But why do 55-year-old men come to work with us when I'm 31 and Sam, what, you're 33, 34?
35.
Cool. Why do 55-year-old men come to the Empowered Man? Because everything we just shared with you, they've heard it, they sort of understand it, but they don't live it because no one taught them how to live it. And everything we just shared with you guys is about living it, breathing it. It's an identity. It is a step you take, but it becomes who you are. You're just the guy who does the hard shit. You're the guy who takes action. You're the guy who's got leadership. You're the guy who is weaponized. And it's the best feeling ever. You just feel like a king. And that's when your wife, your partner, your kids, they look to you, become attractive. You attract so much into your life. You attract more money, more friends, more opportunities. They just come to you because you're like a magnet for success. But it begins with you. This is what men don't realize. They put all their time and energy into the business and the family and the kids and the wife, but it begins with you. If you are successful in making money, but your health, your relationships are falling down the gutter, that's not true success. True success is upgrading yourself, not your business, not your wife, not your kids. If you can upgrade yourself as a modern day man, put yourself first, which we've been told is selfish, level the fuck up and be the man, take action, have conviction, weaponize your body, bulletproof your mind, you will win because you become so attractive as a man. Not just the way you look, attractive as in terms of how you put yourself out there. You become a magnet for success. You attract opportunities, people, relationships, friends, family. People will want to be around you. And so many men, when they walk in a room, people don't want to be there. You become the man that everyone wants to be around. And that's real success because it's balanced across all those areas.
Yeah.
So step into these identities. Please complete the exercise. And if you want more support, check out the links down below. We've got a cracker episode for you next week. But I hope you got a ton of value from this one. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up on YouTube or 5 stars wherever you're listening to it. And we'll see you for the next episode of the Empowered Man podcast. Hey, brother, I hope you got a ton of value from that podcast. If you would like to work with us personally and get some of the best content we've launched for our clients who invested thousands of dollars, then go and complete our 7-day Empowered Man Challenge. This mission will completely transform your life. If it doesn't, you won't have to pay a cent. It's only $37 and it is game changing if you want to take back control. So if you want to find balance between business, family, and life, if you want the relationship, the health, the wealth that you deserve, then go to elitebusinessman.com/challenge. That's elitebusinessman.com/challenge and take up this challenge to take back control of your life.